Chapter 26 of Adventures of the Teenie Weenies. This chapter has been read by Roslyn Carlyle. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. The clown falls off a spool and knocks down a house. After his experience in the pickle jar, the dunce made a resolution to try to be good whenever he went into a big house. But the busy little fellow couldn't keep out of mischief, and it wasn't long before he got into trouble again. He didn't really mean to be naughty, for he was a most kind-hearted little chap, but being so full of life and so curious, he simply couldn't be quiet. He loved to look into everything he saw, and being a good climber, he wanted to crawl over everything. The little people had been skating all morning, and they had stopped at a house on their way home to warm themselves. The dunce had gone prowling about the place, and had found a child's playroom with many wonderful toys in it, which he wished his friends to see. "Jiminy Christmas!" he shouted. "There's building blocks and dolls and chairs and tables and everything. Come on in." The Teenie Weenies followed the dunce to a nursery where they found all sorts of pretty toys. The little folks enjoyed themselves for some time looking at the many playthings, but the thing they liked most was a beautiful arch or house made out of building blocks. Of course, the dunce had to climb to the very top of the house, where he sat shouting at the Teenie Weenies below. "Jenks," he cried, "you get a dandy view up here. I can see way over to the other side of the room." "You'd better come down," warned the doctor. "The first thing you know you'll fall off and break your foolish neck." At this moment the clown, who had been balancing himself on a spool, suddenly slipped and went crashing into the house. "Run for your lives!" screamed the cook, as the house toppled forward. One of the small boys, who had started to climb up the house, clung screaming to the column, and the dunce gave a mighty leap off the top, while those who were on the floor ran with all their might. The house came crashing down, and it was the luckiest thing in the world that no one was badly hurt. Outside of being badly scared and pretty well shaken up, the small boy and dunce were none the worse for their fall. "This is a fine pickle," said the general. "Now we'll have to get pulleys and ropes and build this house up again just as we found it." The Teenie Weenies hurried home for the necessary tools, and it took fully 4 hours of hard work to build the house again just as they had found it. The little folks did the work so well that the children who had first built the house never suspected for a moment what had happened to it. That night Rufus Rhyme wrote a verse about the dunce's fall. It was called Humpty Dumpty Dunce, and here it is just as the poet set it down. 20 times a day or more the dunce goes tumbling on the floor. He must be made of iron and rocks to stand so many bumpy knocks. End of chapter 26.